Alright YouTube, if your P2 Volvo is like mine, you're driving along at night, you go to reach down to change the dash, the center console, change your temperature on the climate control module, reach down there, and you don't know what you're touching because this is what you see. That's what you see. You can do all the stereo options, but it's totally dark down here except for the recirculate and this, because I've lost all the bulbs. I can still see the fan light up, and I can choose my directions on these little orange indicators, but nothing. I can't see the man, I can't see the control temperatures, I see nothing over here on my little 4-pack of buttons. So let's get that out of there and let's get some bulbs changed. So I've been playing with the climate control unit out of an XC90. It's an extra I had sitting in the garage. It does have broken tabs, so I'm probably not going to use it, but I bought it for some components because it came out of a nice car. And you just take the faceplate, pops right off. It's just sitting right here. You just pry it from the bottom, it pops off. You can pull these buttons out. They just wiggle out. You just keep pulling on them until they come. And this is the inside of a button. It'll actually come out because I just set this one back in there. So the buttons, you wiggle these, they'll come out, and if you use a screwdriver and pry it a little bit, you can get this to pry out of the inside. So there is a bulb that goes in there. We're not going to mess with that one today. It is this itty bitty teeny tiny one. I just pulled that apart so I could see what it was. And then ironically, the little orange light up when you actually activate one of these buttons is inside there, and it looks to be printed on the circuit board, so it's probably LED. But the bulbs are not. They're regular incandescents. So what it turns out when you flip this over, because even though this unit's from an XC90 and the shape doesn't fit the dash of the V70, which is a pre-facelift 02, dressed up as a V70R, it does have the same arrangement of bulbs, and they are the exact same bulbs. So when I take it apart to look at this one without taking apart the car and measure bulbs, it has 4 gray ones. Actually, there's 6 bulbs in the back that light up the front panel. And luckily on this car, they're actually labeled. I'm not sure if they are on the V70 or not. The XC90 has them labeled, white here and white there. The white ones are slightly smaller, and they're just lighting up this button and this button. The gray ones are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are lighting up everything else. So they're lighting up this, 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 and that. And then all the other buttons are down here with their little itty bitties. So there's the 4 gray ones. So my thought was, I'm going to replace these. And I thought I had them in stock. But it turns out I had extra black ones. Why I ordered extra black ones, I don't know. Because those go for the, that was when I did the XC90's lock ring. The bulb was out on that when I first got it. Cheap replacement. I think those were $6 a piece. But when I looked up these bad boys on FCP, these are $16 each. That's $90 worth of bulbs. Oh, and the smaller ones, the white ones, they're just a little bit smaller, they're the same price, $16.99. So 6 of them for $16.99. We're over 90 bucks. So that's motivation to do something different. And if I zoom in close on these little bulbs, you can see they come with a little blue silicone little condom that goes on there to make it a softer bluish light. So they're just little white bulbs with these little silicone sliders that go on there, and if you're really careful, you can pull them off. Although this one, when I pulled it off, it did rip off of the gray, but that is doable. You can't pull those off. So yeah, $16 each, and I'm pretty sure the cost of that is in the silicone little condom, because let me show you what I found. So Volvo parts are expensive, and I thought to myself, I'm a clever guy. This is a P2 Volvo. Ford owned Volvo when this car was made in 2002. So I wonder about Ford's. So I looked it up, and sure enough, Ford's on the 2009, I think, Taurus, which is a D3 or a D4 platform, is what Ford calls it, although Volvo calls it a P2, shared a lot of components. So I looked it up. I can get Ford calls it an EATC bulb. I can get those for about $5 a piece online, but they're clear. They're not blue. And apparently I didn't see this the other day, but they come in a green option. But everything I found on these was $5 a piece. And they're clear. So maybe I could buy those, source the sizing on them, make sure they fit. I mean, it's hard to find how bright they are, what's the lumens or the brightness, and what the dimensions are on these things when you can get it. It's kind of haphazard. But for $3 a piece, well, that's a good option. I can get 5 of those for the price of one Volvo bulb. and then I could carefully pull off the silicone and slide it onto those most likely. But then it hit me. Why would I replace incandescent bulbs with incandescent bulbs in today's world? Why don't I go LED? So I'd had some success with some super bright LEDs in the past on our Toyota Previa. Turned them all to blue back during COVID on the dash. I loved it. But when I look up a 2002 Volvo LED bulbs on super bright LEDs, no options at all. But wait, I'm a smart guy. What about Ford? But that didn't work either, because on Ford Taurus 2009, super bright LED says, nope, there's nothing for the interior climate control, EATC, whatever the hell they call it. So that's not going to work. So after Googling around a little bit, turns out these things are called Neo wedge bulbs. And they have very specific dimensions. I measured, you know, the bigger gray ones and the smaller white ones. I didn't measure this little guy because I'm not messing with that. None of those are out. So what I decided to do was, why don't I just search on super bright LEDs, Neo wedges, and look what pops up. I have 3 different size options, a 3mm T1, a 4mm, and a 5mm T1 3/4, and they come in colors. And I like blue because, well, it's supposed to have blue. So I decided, let's check out these dimensions. And if you go to these, there is a spec sheet on proportions. I'm trying to find where I found that. Here we go. So this is a 3mm. That's got the wrong proportions. It was too narrow and very tall and skinny. Didn't work. This is the Neo 4 XHP, and that depends on the color you get. On the XHP side. And then this was the 5, so it's very stubby, and the base was 12mm. These need to be 10. So it turns out the what's this called, a Neo 4 XHP would work, or it's really close. It's 9.4mm base instead of a 10, but there's room for some slop when you look in here. Like, it's just got to get into the hole, fit in there, turn, make contact on the copper connections, and lo and behold, we're going to have light. So I decided these are $3 each. I ordered 10 of them. That's, you know, $30. Actually, I think I got them shipped to my house for $29.09. So they were, a pack of 10 was $24. So $2.40 each plus some shipping. So under $30. And lo and behold, the package just arrived and there are 11 of them. So now we're below, well below $3 a bulb. And for that price, I will see if they will work. We'll get them in here, and well, we got to go, not in this one. I already test fit one. They definitely fit in there and they lock. They are polarized on these LEDs, so if you put it in and you put charge to it and it doesn't light up, don't freak out. It's most likely not a bad bulb. You just need to pull it out, reverse it 180 degrees, put it back in, power it back up, and it will probably turn on because the polarity is just backwards. So before I go back out to the Volvo V70 and pull it apart and show you how to do that and gain access, just a quick reminder, all of these are interchangeable. The coating with the computer, with your central computer unit, is inside of each of these. So you can rearrange these wherever you want. So that one was, parking was there. It could be moved here. The dummy plates could be pulled out. It could be placed there. I don't know why you would do that, but you certainly can. Gee whiz. No, I can't get it out. There it is. Oh, get my fingers on it. I got big old chubby fingers. All right, so it was originally here. You could move it to here. You just push it in. Put the mirrors over here because I don't want to use the mirrors. Actually, this is an extra unit. My car doesn't even have those mirrors. And then you just press fit this. Hear it? It just pops in. So you just grab it from the bottom and it will pull apart. It's super easy. But let's go out to the car and I'll show you how to get it all out without setting off any codes. And let's change some bulbs and see if we can make that car light up. Make sure you get access to your battery in the trunk, because in a little bit we're gonna disconnect that battery, that negative terminal, but not yet. Chalk the wheels because we're gonna put the car into neutral. All we're gonna need is a bone tool, little access panel tool that doesn't mar and scratch the plastics, and a T25. I'm gonna do it with the regular wrench because that's all we gotta do to get that climate control panel out of that dash. So while this is, I know you're going to look at it and go, what is this car? It is a 2002 Volvo V70 2.4 turbo, but it does have interior door cards and trim pieces from a V70R, as well as Nordcap seats and a Nordcap 2004 V70R console. And then to make this work, because I had an automatic transmission, This is a plate. This little face plate right here is from an S60, which uses the same center console as the V70, and it's in black. And you just have to, there's 2 or 3 different options of these of how they came, depending on what the build was on the car and the year. But I went around to junkyards until I found one that worked, and it mounted in here just perfect. It's just not silver like the Spaceball shifters were. I think, or maybe the first Spaceball shifters were black on the 04s, but it works. It is perfect. It came out of an S60 out of the junkyard. All right, so the first things first is we're just gonna pop in here. This is, I could do that with my fingertips. Just remove that little tab. There are 2 25s. I'm pointing at the first one and the second one. That's literally the last we're gonna need this tool. It was just to pop those, but we need to get this gear shift selector out of the way. So we are going to turn on the key, and we're going to put it back. I'm going to move it all the way back to L because the car's not going to be running. I don't think I can do that without the key turned a little bit. So we'll do that. That's why the battery is still connected. But you do not, if you're going to skip around in this video, there's one thing I want to tell you real quick. For some reason, do not disconnect the climate control module. It's going to have 2 plugs in the back of it. It's going to have 2 little wires that go and connect the cigarette lighter, which I've converted to a USB. But it has 2 wires on the back of that. That's not what I'm talking about. It's the 2 main clips on the back of here. You do not disconnect those with the battery plugged in, or it will throw an SRS light. If you have Vita, you can clear that. But if you don't, you're going to be heading to the dealership for an expensive repair. So don't do that. Make sure you disconnect the battery. But for right now, I want the battery to be on so we can get this thing out of gear. And I think that needs to be the case. So let me get the keys. You know, YouTube, I don't even have to remove this plate. This can stay because we're just going to swing this climate control module out. I've removed the 2 T25s. Key is in it. I've moved it all the way back to L. So now the base is free. And I'm probably going to, let's see if I can get this set up where you can just kind of watch. Because you reach up here and it pops free when you pull it out. All right, I'm going to need 2 hands. Let's see if I can get you set up somewhere. Let's see if that works. All right, 2 hands, popping it free. You just gotta pull, it won't break. You just gotta trust yourself. It's a bit scary. All right, I'm gonna have to do this without you. I need to be able to move. All right, how I did this is super easy. I just stuck the bone tool in right here on this upper spot, and I just gave it a little bit of pry while I was pulling it this direction from the bottom with my left hand. My right hand just went up here and just gave it a little bit of effort. And then I can come over here and do the same thing on the left, and it has come free. So there are clips. They are right here. They are, I believe they're plastic, hard plastic. They're coming off the bottom of the stereo unit, entertainment unit, and they slide into these long grooves and they go under right where my fingertip is sitting. So you just gotta pop them free. Doesn't take a lot and they will come right out. Battery is still on because I'm in low. But now I got this situation with short cables. I can't really get to the back side. And I got my gear shift in L and I can't turn the car off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to disconnect cables. We're going to reach into the back and pull these off. Before I do that, we're going to take the battery out of this car. Let's put it back into park because now it has swung out far enough that I can just work on it like this. Put it into park, get the key turned off, get the battery disconnected. Before you put it into park, lift it up, tip it up out of the way so you can get access to these back clips. Do not unclip those with the battery connected. Trust me. Turn the car off, and we go to the back and we disconnect that negative terminal. Super simple, 1-2mm bolt, and then you just reach in here and pull the negative terminal off. Set it down beside and let the car go slowly to sleep. Give it 30 seconds or so before you start messing with any cables. Now, with the system dead, no power coming to it, it's kind of hard to see all these, but it's just the red and the black down here on the bottom. Red goes on the far outside on this setup with my USB. Just so I'll remember that. I got a video of it talking to you. And then I'm just going to disconnect those 2 black ones, and then this panel is free to come out of the car and access those light bulbs. If you're really good at what you're doing, you can access the bulbs through these holes right here. But for showing you how to get this out, I'm just going to take the whole thing out. I might even clean out the dust from the air temperature sensor. The thermistor is right inside those little vents, and just make sure it's clean since I got it out and available. And voila! There it is. Super simple, super easy. Can't believe I didn't fix this earlier. Couldn't remember how hard it was to get or how easy it is to get it out. But there you can see all of my little bulbs, just like the XC90, even though it is a little different color and a little bit different shape. It's basically the same system. So let's get this out and start flipping through some bulbs. Never know what you're gonna find working on these cars. Check out that Neo wedge bulb. That thing would not come out. No wonder it didn't work. It was broken, split barely in there, wasn't installed correctly. And when I went to pull it out, I literally had to pry it out. It was not unturning. It would not come free. And then 2 little bits of plastic went down inside there. So I had to pull the entire back cover off and go fishing for all the little plastic. I also found some broken screw mounts. So there's a couple bolts or screws on the back of this thing that aren't completely tight, but it is no longer rattly. All the little bits are out of it. So now the 2 white ones go in the top corners, and then the other ones go everywhere else. I'm going to put them in. I'm a little worried because the white ones are smaller and less bright than the gray ones, or assuming they're less bright. So I'm a little worried that on my LEDs, I had to get one size. So I'm a little worried that these might be too bright. And if they are on the LEDs, I'll just go back to the white ones, incandescent, and the 4 other ones will be LEDs. But let's get those put in. They're super simple. They just, put them in, turn in a quarter turn, and you're good. All right, so I'm going to put one of these little LED blue Neo wedge 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 holes, even though the white ones are less bright. And we'll see if it's overpowering. If it is, I'll just go back to incandescence on the top 2. Hopefully I got enough white bulbs that work, white-based bulbs. It's super simple. They just go in. You can see it. They just pop in there, and then they rotate just a little bit, and they lock themselves onto the electrical connectors. If they don't light up, I just got to keep track of which ones aren't lit up. Take it back out, turn them 180 degrees, put them back in, and they should light up. All right, YouTube, I got all 6 bulbs in there, and I did just make sure that they do clock and make contact with the copper little polar positive and negative charges there. So let's go put this back in the car, get it connected. All I gotta do is connect these 2 cables. I don't have to worry about the USB power. I just need to get these 2 connected, and then I can connect the battery and see what lights up. 2 green plugs into the back of the unit. Let's go connect the battery and flip a key switch. Well, this is kind of funny. It's gonna be hard to see with this adjusting to the light, but both dials are now lit up. That's an improvement. Let's see if I can get this just right. You can sort of see some illumination coming from this dial and that dial. Nothing up here. Nothing here on the center man or the selections, and nothing up here. So we got 1, 2, 3 that did not light. Let's disconnect and redo. I just got to laugh at myself. Let's just say that's easier said than done. I'm assuming that these are the 2 that are correct, and the upper corners were off, as well as this one for the man in the middle. The little, where we're selecting where the air is going to come out. Yeah, you can't get these out, access them, you can turn them, and that's the opposite orientation they're supposed to have, but by the time you pull them out and get them back in, you've lost all orientation. So these 2 stayed, and these 3 were pulled out and reset, and there's still a 50-50 chance if they're going to be the right direction, because I have no idea if I put them in opposite, 180 degrees, or the same. Let's see if I made any improvement. All right, I got it plugged back in, and I swear to God, it was blind luck. So these are now lit up in the corner. These are all 4 lit up. My dial's lit up. This dial's lit up. And my man is lit up. Let's see if I have a dimmer, because I know that's some of the issue on these. Do they dim? Did you notice a dimming? Let me find that button over here. Oh yeah, they're definitely brighter. Dimmer, brighter. Dimmer, brighter. Can you see it? Dimmer, brighter. It's not significantly different, but you know what? These do not seem to be that overpowering, so I'm happy with it. They are all blue. Let's get it mounted back in. Again, it's just get this thing out of the way, slide it back to L, put that in its spot. I'll reconnect my USB charger system here, and 2 torques, it goes back together. And now I'm putting it back together. Everything's connected. See, my USB's lighting up. Everything is connected. I don't have to worry about the battery because I'm not disconnecting any green cables. You can see these 2 tabs right here, this one and this one. They slide into those 2 slots, these long vertical slots right there. So if you watch that tab, just line it up and push it in, it pops. That was it. It is not super tight. It's hard to get out because it feels like you're going to break something. And then these automatically line up for two T25s. Those go back in. I put the faceplate back on and we are good. So yeah, let me do it. I can go ahead and put this back into park and turn it off. All right, YouTube, I got both T25s on there. They're just snug. There's no torque setting, obviously. It's plastic. Don't go crazy. And then my little pen holder, little trim piece, just pops over the top. Remember, I didn't even take this out this time. And it should just slide into place. Bam! There it is. Piece of cake. I love it. And let's see them light up again. Where's my key? Hang on. Look at that. I got lights. I'm going to be able to see what my temperatures are at night. Batteries reconnected, locked down, protected inside there. Just got to put my little cover in there, the little storage tray, drop the hatch, close the cover, and we're good to drive. All back together. Drop that. Close my cover, shut the hatch. You know what? Let's close the garage door. We'll simulate night in here and show you what it looks like. All right, that seems like nighttime dark. It'll work. Oh my goodness, look at that. I love it. And now we can tell if it's dimming or not. Hang on. Where's my little knob? Oops, wrong button. There it is. Bright. Dim. You know what? Now I'm looking at it. I got very blue down here. I got the greens up there. I like the blues. Now I'm thinking I got 4 extra bulbs. How do I access these? I got some research to do. But I got down here, that's all kind of cool. Definitely more blue than it's ever been in the past. And these upper buttons in the top and left upper corners are brighter than they've ever been. But it works. And, oh no, this is only lit up halfway. There's still a bulb out right here. It's sharing light from over on this side, and it needs some here. Well, shoot! All right, I still got a bulb out. Just caught that. I've only got up to 64, 68. There's nothing for 72, 76, and 80. All right, let me take that battery back out. You know, I didn't pull the circuit board off the back when I went fishing for all those little plastic bits. But I'm willing to bet that it's a clear one single channel. And it's just putting all, all the different lights into it. And it's right in this area this was completely gone, no light. And this wasn't as bright as these were. So I have a feeling that there's light over here that's flooding this way and just nothing coming from this side that can get to it. So this one is most likely that one right there. 2 over here. One there. I'm pretty sure it's this one. So let's flip it. Well, I flipped it, got it all reconnected, and it still didn't light up. All right, YouTube. Well, I grabbed my old XC90 and tore it apart just to see how it lights up. Sure enough, I light it up in here. And this one appears to be our issue right here. It does not have a clear plastic tunnel thing to disperse light. But when I stick my bulb, show you what I'm doing here. When I stick the bulb on the back of that, hang on, let me get it to line up. I know you're getting pushed all around, probably getting seasick. All right, so that lights up the 80, the 75, or the 76, 80, 72. Lights up that side and the dial. And then this one over here lights up that side of the 64 in the dial. So we're missing this one right there. That's what we're missing. And it does not seem to be connecting, so I'm just going to switch out the bulb. And then this side does. The only place I saw one of those clear plastic, and you can see it looking down in there right there. There's a clear plastic. There you can see it. Clear plastic right where the inside there. That is dispersing light, but it's from this bulb. And only this bulb, and it disperses it up into the man and the auto button. So those are working. So it's just right here. Let's get that fixed. Let me try just a different bulb completely. Did everybody get seasick on that? I apologize. Low budget here, but as of this morning when I started making this video, we're at 995 subscribers. Jump down there, right there, hit that button, subscribe. We get over 1,000, we can monetize this. I can get some better equipment. Work smarter, not harder, YouTube, because I really still can't tell if I'm switching these and getting a different polarity. So I took an Sharpie marker and I put a little black dot on the lower left corner there, like about 8 o'clock. I'm going to switch that so it's at 2 o'clock, and then I know I switched polarity. And we'll try this one more time before I try a new bulb completely. Yeah, it's reversed 180 degrees. That black dot is now at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So let's go put it in the car and see if it lights up. Voila, that was the magic ticket. It lights up. Let me see if I can get it, cup it a little bit. You see it? Now you can see the 80 and the man's even brighter. All right, that bulb wasn't bad. I just never got it flipped. And you know what that means? That means I have 5 LED blue bulbs left. I need to figure out how that stereo comes out. Let's see if I can change those bulbs too. All right, YouTube, just some quick experimentation. And 1, 2 T25s are sitting down there on the floor mat. They came out and I was able to pull this. This damn thing is heavy. Woo! But let's, it came free. No hooks on the top. It was nice and easy. So, it's just got a big old metal bracket that mounts it to the dash. Pull it out, can disconnect some stuff. I know on this one, the face plate comes off, and there's going to be a circuit board that we can get loose and do the bulbs from the back of the circuit board. It's out of the car. I took out, it's just little squeezy tabs hold in my little wallet holder that goes right there, or the cup holder would go, but I prefer to just have my wallet sitting in there. I'm not really sure if I have to take this metal bracket off or not. I think I do, because it looks like there's some plastic tabs going back in there that are underneath this plate on this side. From this side, we're good. I can get to that one. From this side, again, there's 2 little plastic tabs. I have a feeling I'm going to have to get this metal bracket off. Well, that came off easy. It's just 5 T25 Torx screws. And those tabs didn't go underneath it. They just stopped. So nope, that didn't have to come off. But I think it's going to make our job easier. All of the buttons on this model they're not on the top of the faceplate. So I don't have to pull any buttons. We just got to get that faceplate to come off. And I think it might just be these 2 screws. One there and one there. Let's see if that does it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I have 2 tabs, one on either side there. And then right here, 1 right there. There's 1, 2, 3, and another 3 on the other side. So there are 6, 8 tabs simultaneously to get that faceplate free. I have no idea how I'm going to do it. It wasn't that bad. Just kept prying and pushing on these little tabs. Turned out there was a couple more that I didn't see, but just really softly kept going around. Didn't break any of them. Got them to pop off. I was wrong. These 2 knobs have to come off. These are your fader and balance. They got to come off because they do lock this plate on. There's a little bit of a lip in there that they sit, and it just won't come off without those. So pull them off. And now I believe my bulbs are on the back side of this LED panel. Just got to figure out how to get to them. Now to get the circuit panel off, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws, it looks like. Next step, let's see if it'll come free. So it looks like there's just a little couple places. 1, 2, maybe 3 there. 1 there. Don't think there's any on this side. Little clips that just hold that circuit board in, so I just got to pry very carefully. All right, YouTube, can you see that little blue dot there in the middle of your screen? That is my bulb. These are different. They are incandescents, but they are directly soldered into the circuit board on that far side, and they are tiny. So I'm going to put this back together, not pull it apart, get it back together, put it back in the car, and hope it works with no rattles. Because these are different bulbs, and they will be way too bright with the LEDs that I have. So these will be their normal color with the green, and the climate control unit will be blue. Pull this faceplate off because my knobs felt funny when I put it back together. I just wanted to make sure I didn't slide anything out of place. To do that, these 3 knobs across the top, 1, 2, 3, they got to come off because they are holding the plate on from this side. They go on these. But you can see how tiny, tiny, tiny those little bulbs are, and they are directly soldered in, so I'm not going to mess with those at all. Everything lit up. It was just kind of green, but a couple of my buttons don't feel right. Like, that one doesn't feel good. That one doesn't feel good. That one doesn't feel good. This one has a nice poppy clip to it. Poppy click. I never use these buttons, so to be honest, like this upper one right here, I think that's scan. It just doesn't pop anymore. I mean, it probably functions, but it just doesn't pop. They've just lost their pop. So I'm gonna put it back together, and we hope it all works. All right, it's all back together. Everybody's in place. Got the screws back on the sides. Just don't like the way this button works. But these three are just mush. And that one's mush. Well, that one's good, good, good. Scan is mush. See, it just doesn't want to pop back. So something tells me I didn't do anything to that. Like, those are just mushy buttons now. It's all back together. Got my wallet pocket back in there. It just slides in and fits in some grooves and snaps in top and bottom. Piece of cake. It did have some play in these, some tuning ability, and I just centered every single bolt. The 2 on that side and the 3 on this side, centered them all, and let's see how it fits when it goes back in. Cross your fingers. I know it sits a little bit recessed, so it should be fine. It's all back together. But I hope pulling that stereo out and pulling that circuit board off wasn't all for naught, because I know I didn't overpress those buttons. They're just weird. Those old buttons just don't have much rubber click in them anymore. And they feel horrible. They don't feel like they're doing anything, so it feels like they might be stuck in an on position. Maybe when they get hot, because that thing generates a lot of heat, so maybe when they get warm, they'll become more pliable, pop themselves back out, because I don't remember them feeling bad before, and I don't think that I did anything to them. So let's, batteries connected. Let's see what happens. All right, you're live with me. That stereo doesn't have any power. How's that possible? I don't have any stereo. Oh, wait. Turn it on. There we go. Tailgate open, one message, tailgate. That's all I got. Everything's blue and lit up. I love it. These are all greenish. Let's see if I can... That works? Those work, they just don't feel right. Scan? Scan works. You know what? It's always been a weird button, now that I remember it. I think that's normal. Let's go source. We're good. We're good. I'm gonna call that a win. It's blue where I wanted blue. It's green where I'm not gonna touch it. So, I'm happy. All right, YouTube, that's a wrap. It's all back together. Everything works. It's functioning. Those buttons feel funny. Maybe they'll come back to life. I think I got lucky. Yeah, you can. I did prove you can totally replace the climate control unit lights, incandescents, with $3 LEDs. I bet you can even get those LEDs cheaper if I kept looking. But $3, less than $3, because they sent me 11 versus 16. I'm happy with that. Piece of cake. I have 5 leftover bulbs I can put in Robna the V8 sitting right there. If I can do it, you can do it. Just don't go into the stereo unless you want to play with a circuit board. And yeah, that's a whole different game. I don't want to mess with it. So if I can do it, you can do it. Be safe out there, YouTube. Have fun.